Hey, wouldn't you like to be 5 minutes funnier? Hi, and welcome to 5 Minutes Funnier, the comedy how-to. I'm your host, Jimmy England, and in case you can't tell, I got a cold. I'm feeling miserable, but you know what? I still love doing this, so I want to put together today's episode. And it's going to be somewhat stand-up centric. I know some of them can kind of go for anything, whether you're having people in and telling them they're fired or I don't know. I don't know what you do with your time. I've said that before. But I thought today what I would like to talk about is putting together an act. Now, an act, there's basically two kinds of acts that you have. One is the type that is your best material, their A material. And this is the stuff you're going to want for paying sets, prestige sets, maybe a room where you're hoping that you'll be picked up in a better spot later on. If you're in a showcase somewhere, they want to see your best material. Your B material, which is still important, that's the material you are working on, the stuff that has potential, but maybe isn't quite ready to go out and be heard in public yet. So primarily when you're doing those better venues, you want to have nothing but your A material. And you want to save the B material when you're playing at open mics and places like that, where you're just trying the material out, hoping to see what's working, what's not, improve it, until finally you can call it A material and move it up another tier. Now, when you do that at an open mic, there's two ways you can basically approach it. One is to come in and do your brand new material and save a little A material at the very end to kind of end strong on. And that can be very functional. It's always nice to go out on a laugh. The way I tend to use it more often than not is what I would call a joke sandwich, where I will open with two or three surefire things, go into the new material, and if it's going strong, I'll continue and finish off with the new material, but I've always got some of that A material at the end to finish off strong at. So I open strong and I end strong. Now, just so I'm not being a total elitist here, it is possible to do some of your B material at an A venue, for lack of a better name. And that is if you're pretty sure the B material is going to work. But I would take it in there with the understanding that if it isn't going over, you've got some A material you can switch into immediately and get back on track. The point here is you don't want to have people paying to watch you practice. Some of my comic friends on occasion have voiced the concern that A material is stagnation, that you are going to become stagnant if you're doing it all the time. I don't think that's quite true. Most comics will put together an act, 40 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, and they will tour with it for a year or 2 years, doing it at multiple venues over and over again. And they still find a way to keep it fresh. And how they keep it fresh is they have it down so well that while they're on stage, they can actually see different opportunities that they never noticed before. If you know your act so well, you don't have to think about your act, you can think about other things. And what you might think about is other actions that you could do on stage to enhance the material. Perhaps instead of just standing there, you're going to walk at one point. If it gets a laugh, great. If you're standing out there, sometimes you'll think of a great tagline to add on that you never occurred to you before. But when you're in the situation of actually do it in front of an audience, there's the opportunity and there's the material that maybe you had missed before. I think for most comics, you have to remember that you are going to get different audiences every time. Even if you go back to a same room, you're going to get a different audience where maybe a few people know you, but the vast majority do not. And that was actually my concern when I was starting out. I thought I was going to go back. There's going to be a lot of people who heard me do these jokes last time, and I'm changing everything. And the fact of the matter was that that was pretty much of a brand new audience. And in some instances, I did a better job delivering the joke, and the people that heard it before laughed anyways. If you're building your brand, if you're becoming more well-known, you might have an argument to be made for that. But it takes a long time to build that brand. You need to be the headliner. You need to be the person they are coming to see. That's all I've got for you this time. And I'm going to go back and lay down in bed. But in the meantime, I'm going to break precedent here. Please subscribe to this channel if you're enjoying these episodes. We have an awful lot of them coming up. At last count, I think we're going to have a total of 35. And what I find is I'm going out and around and thinking about this more things that you should know pop into my head. So yes, there it is. Jimmy England officially did it. Please subscribe.